Hello, YouTube cubes. I am here. It is Monday. Wow. Sorry about the silence that was happening there. I forgot to fix the game sound and things like that. But anyhow, we're switching it up. Guild Wars 2 does have a patch tomorrow, but that doesn't really help us talk about anything today. So today I just wanted you to dive into my world of addiction when it comes to video games. And rarely do I get addicted to a video game. The last video game, whatever you want to call it. The last game I got addicted to was Hades. Hades was a masterpiece to me. There was so much done right in that game. And I usually don't like those, hack and slash, roguelike type games, but Hades did a lot of things well. And I got it for free, thanks to a buddy, but it was $20 at the time. It's $25 usually, but it goes on sale a lot. It was like $20 again over the weekend. So, it changed my mind about $20 games, okay? And then this Valheim thing came out, right? This Valheim, like, what is this, right? So, I was watching some people play it, and I was like, oh, that just looks like another crafting survival type game, right? Open world survival craft type thing. Minecraft in a different skin. But I was wrong. Actually, I was right, but I'm still wrong. The thing with Valheim and how it all works is that instead of just creating another sandbox style game, open world game, they took it to another level and still gave replayability. I don't know, like an injection of replayability. I can't really put it into words. Chaz, hello. But Valheim is like a mix of a few games that I have played. Now, some people out there are saying Terraria, but I highly suggest finding out about Starbound. I'm trying to get things fixed here because when I started, things moved around. Okay, we're good. But anyways, if you've never played Starbound, I think Valheim's more like that. Sorry, my neighbor is an absolute butt face. Have I ever told you guys about my neighbor here on YouTube? Let me tell you about my neighbor. If you can't hear that, they just rev their engines for no reason. There's no good reason. Like if they did it every once in a while, it would be one thing, but it's like an everyday thing. They just go out into their driveway and rev their engines. I'm not even kidding you. So if that happens during a live show, I apologize on their behalf, but dear God, I'm going to lose it one day, and I'll be in the news, and you'll be like, isn't that guy from YouTube? And you'll know why. I just don't understand how they get away with what they do out there. I really don't. They have all these vehicles and all this crap out there, and I'm just flabbergasted. Anyways, enough complaining, back to Valheim. So anyways, in Starbound, anyways, you have to beat a boss to move on to another world type of thing. Valheim uses the same kind of restrictions. You have to beat a boss to get a thing, to get to the next advancement type thing. And it unlocks stuff and that kind of thing. And you go out and you find resources and stuff like that. So much like the Minecraft and things like that, the building in the game is the first building in the game I've actually wanted to do. When it came to Minecraft, yes, I will go mine all the resources and things like that. But in Valheim, it's not just about the resources. I actually want to use those resources. Running out of wood is not something I ever thought would be a big issue in a game besides of manufacturing something to eventually get something else. But instead, I end up using so much of that resource just building things. And it's just done so well in the idea of getting the player involved in and it's so funny. They don't even really hold your hand, but they do point you at the right direction. So I'm going to start a new character today. We're going to play a little bit so I can explain some of this a bit better. But it has that open world feel. I think it's more along the lines of Starbound than Terraria. Yes, you're fighting things. Yes, there are bosses. But Starbound has like a major boss, and then there's just bad guys out in the world type of thing. And I think it follows that a bit better than Terraria. It also has this Norse mythology theme that they have held on to, and it's just amazing. So, there's like Odin, and all sorts of stuff like that. I can't even pronounce the names. I'm not going to try, but for the most part, this is my addiction now. And so, I've also started playing with friends, which I highly suggest. Get 3 or 4 friends together. The devs say 3 to 5, but they allow servers to go higher than that. 10 players, I think, is too hectic. I think 8 players is too hectic. You have to get resources for everyone, and, you just clear out masses of an area, and then it's just left barren and things like that. I'm playing with 3 other people, so there's 4 of us total. And it has been an experience and all sorts of things. You start working on a project, you're getting attacked by things. We decided to go into the Black Forest. It just grabs you. Single player wise, I can waste 4 hours and just be like, all I'm trying to do is build a fence. You just get distracted. You're like, okay, I need food. And here's the great thing about the survival in this game that I'm going to point out. Food matters, but not in the same way as other games where when you're hungry, you start dying. In this game, you do not die from hunger. Eating things and maintaining things is the benefit of making your character stronger and better. So if you do run out of the food, it's not a complete loss. But still want the food because it gives you a greater survival chance. And the funny thing is, as you upgrade your armor and weapons in this game, survival is much easier, so food isn't as necessary for that. But you're mostly eating food at the end of the day for the stamina, and we'll talk about that because I think the stamina in this game is the first time they just do so much right. It's the first time that stamina isn't in the way, it's a pacing mechanic. This is pacing. So a lot of people will find it annoying. A lot of people will find some of these mechanics like carrying weight and the inventory space and stuff. I do think the inventory needs a little bit of a touch-up. I think it's a little too restrictive. But it all works in more of a realistic style, but at the same time not being so overbearing that you can't pick up the game and play. In a lot of games, you end up, it is inventory management simulator. It is weight simulator. It is, all these things that end up just like slowly start pulling the player down until they just don't want to play it anymore. This game, it's addicting because you can get this stuff, but then you have to manage it on the fly, and then you have to run home, and you have to come back, and things like that, and you have to sort of plan out what you're doing a little bit. And the game just keeps doing this thing to push you along. But it allows HP regen too, otherwise you'll eventually die. Yes, but it doesn't kill you. Starving doesn't kill you. That's my major point about hunger in this game. It's not going to bring you down to 1 health. If something does come up and hit you for 3 damage, you're not just going to die. Unless it's a troll, then it's going to do like 100 damage. And then you're going to die. But there will be spoilers in this, but I'll make a new character here. I'll make a whole new world so you guys can see the beginning of this experience. I've seen other YouTubers doing this kind of stuff. Other streamers on other platforms doing it. Twitch. I've been looking at Glimish lately, if you haven't checked that out. Interesting stuff going over there. It's not, I don't know, it seemed pretty quiet this morning when I was looking at what was going on over there, but I think it picks up about this time, like afternoon time on. It's pretty busy over on that website. But I went and took a nap because I was tired. I've been up since 5 a.m., so just bear with me. Let's do this. So, I got some characters here. So this is my original character, Zorric. I have stopped using him because this is my multiplayer character. And I do highly suggest having 2 different characters, one for other worlds and this one. You still carry over items from a character into another world. So if you don't have enough resources, you can actually take a character you have, get the food or whatever you need on them, make a whole new world, search out that material, and then gather it, log out, log into the other world, and do stuff like that. That stuff is there. That is more Terraria-like. You know, if you're like me, you had to start worlds because you didn't have a certain biome or something, that works here too. So, yeah, very, very interesting mechanics behind character creation, what you can do with it. This is my character I've been playing over on Twitch. I've continued to play the character solo, you know, off of any live shows or anything like that. I've done some things. I'll show some of this later, I think. But what I want to do now is make a whole new character. You know what? We'll go female today since Women's International Women's Day. Yeah, there we go. I knew it was gonna get there. Shout out to women. All right. I mean, easy. Let's give her a hairstyle. What do we want? She can't have a beard? Wow. Iron Gate. What's up with that? Well, so, you know, I'll be honest. The cosmetics in this game, not a big deal. Let's do, is this the long ponytail? Let's do that. I like that style. Hair tone changes the color. Add blonde, take away blonde, whatever you want to do. That how you get the get that kind of stuff going on. What are we gonna name her? Let's just name her. Go with we'll just name her Zora. Why not? Video games. You gotta start with the tunic so you're not just running around with a couple scraps of cloth. Gonna hit start. We're going to make a whole new world. We're gonna call this one YouTube Live. There. Done. Making worlds is that easy. There's a seed right there. So if you see this world and you're like, oh man, what's the seed? All of these had seeds. So you can always connect to a world that you like and things like that. Love that. But all worlds are randomly generated when you make them. So if you are looking for something specific, there are worlds you can join. I'm not going to hit that button just in case. You can start your own server. You can actually get a dedicated server. You can have a community server, which goes public. You can do all sorts of things with servers and stuff. And I will tell you something that this game does that I have not seen in a multiplayer server-oriented type thing in a long time. It did extremely optimized, well-optimized game. There is lag, there is frame drops, but they are rare. And on a server, I do notice lag, but it is so random and crazy that sometimes, like, I'm not sure if the game's lagging or not. Then like you see the thing move and you're like, oh, there's lag. But other than that, it's so rare that it was a lot better back when I played Minecraft multiplayer. When that was getting busier, man, the lag could just be horrible on a server. You have to restart the server every so many hours and things like that. This game, once the server started, it is so well optimized. Rarely is there a problem. Rarely do you have to restart the server. It doesn't take a lot. In fact, it's so well optimized that running Windows 10 on a computer hogs more resources than running the server with multiple people on it and exploring huge parts of the map and things. And I think the biggest file size I've seen right now is 56 megabytes or whatever. So, you know, there it is. But anyways, enough talking. Let's get the scroll screen. This is an early access game, so some things I immediately want to see changed is this screen that's about to pop up. When making a new character, new world, and things like that, what ends up happening is that you don't want to see the screen every time. But I think the point is that they're hoping that you don't make 60,000 characters. So, but the way this game starts is pretty unique in the sense of how to start it. We are still loading. It's still making the world more than likely. So, it always says it's not responding, but I know that's a lie. No, it's a lie. Just a black screen. The black screen. There it is. So this is the screen that I hope that they add a skip for. You can read it if you want. I've already read it many times. I'm not going to read it to you. But pretty much, you are a warrior. You have been summoned to take on some gods for Odin. And you're entering the world of Valheim. You're not the only one, though. There is some story to this game, but it is built into what you're fighting and the messages left and exploring and finding those messages. So, but like this right here, that right there, isn't that amazing? So you immediately come into this game, you're being flown in, raining. So freaking epic. And if you ever look at your map, and I'll explain this because I was confused about it and I don't want other people to be like, when did I run over there? You didn't. Alright? This counts as like, once you hit a certain elevation, it starts opening up the map. So, yeah. Lots of water around me. Ooh. So you just get dropped into here. I don't know how to say the name of this bird right here. Look this deer, this boar. I call this bird Hugs. Okay, you can call it a raven or whatever, but this is your tutorial right here. This is your tutorial. That bird will show up anytime it needs to tell you something. Alright, so I was talking about the bosses. The first thing you want to do is talk to this. There's where the first boss is. But don't worry, it's not just sitting out there. You have to summon it. These are the trophy cases as you beat the bosses. Bosses, once you defeat them, you can bring this over here. And you can get powers. Okay? Again, there's going to be some spoiler things. But don't worry. I can't even tell you what the other ones are, as I've only ever beat the first boss, and I try to keep myself, you know, being spoiled too much. If I'm doing it with the multiplayer server, it's different. So there are skills in this game, just like a lot of things. So here you have a compendium that will tell you what's going on with you. So when you're wet, you lose regen and stamina regen and things like that. And then you have skills as you make things, use things, run, jump, anything, those skills level up. Every about 10 skills makes a bigger difference. You get a percentage boost on whether it's to use less stamina, jump higher, run faster, things like that. Trophies, as you kill things, you will earn those, and you can turn on PvP or not. I suggest keeping this disabled. If you're playing with other people, just be out there swinging, okay? And then if you're playing on a hardcore server, good luck. So the first thing we gotta do is collect stone and wood. This is the normal thing we do in all types of thing. Also, I'm gonna punch this boar. Gonna get hurt. I might die here. So there is hunting in this game. If you don't like violence against animals, sorry to tell you, it's part of life when you are already dead. We also got to find some raspberries if we can, which is a good starter food. Eventually, we'll be able to do more with that. There's our bird friend. I'm going to skip through these because there is nothing that Hugs can tell me that I don't already know. So, these are bad guys. You can Spartan kick by using a secondary attack. I'm definitely going to die. Got him. This place is surrounded by water, which is not a bad thing. Anyways, what I need to make is a hammer and stone axe. Stone axe preferably, since it's a weapon. Do not run into that. Let's punch down a tree like you do. You're gonna die. Hey, let me showcase this game. Dies immediately. You do have a torch you can hit things with too. They start you with the torch. I usually don't use it. Try to get my barehanded up. It levels up quickly, beating on trees. I do something called false leveling. You can go literally just walk up to a tree, and I keep forgetting not to run every time. But by hitting this tree, you can still level it up and level it up effectively. That's just because the mechanics of the game, which I don't fully understand, but I'm sure somebody out there is like, this is all you do. And then they're a genius, and I'm over here just punching trees down. So by getting materials, it unlocks things. We will worry about that after we get a hammer. Your job is to gain these basic materials as fast as you can, so we have something to defend ourselves with and build with. Yeah. So we need... We're gonna need stone, but I'm gonna go ahead and build the hammer. Yes. Move it. Muscle memory. Blah, 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 blah. So, by right-clicking, it will open up a menu. In that menu, I can see I can build some things, do some stuff, but it takes materials. I don't have enough of those materials. Put that hammer away. We need to find stone. Easier by the water, but there's danger over there. Lots of deer. I only have a couple... Well, those necks are in the way. I get an axe. An axe would make this a lot easier. Let's kill some things. So, an axe can cut down trees, do more damage, all that kind of stuff. Where was it? There is sneak in this game. I'm not very good at it, but you can crouch down and pretend you're not there and then get bit. But my skills are just going to be leveling up here. The only time you lose skills is if you die. It's a set percentage. Just to let you know, we're going to need stone. So, keep collecting. Think here. Definitely kill some boar. Block. So there is blocking in this game. Parrying is when you block at the right circumstance. It'll stun the creature and you'll be able to do extra damage to it. You'll also be attacked by things like this, these graylings. Later on, there's tougher enemies that you'll have to fight. But overall, you just get harassed every once in a while, much like these games do. At night, it gets worse. So what we're racing against is sort of building a place where we can take shelter and enjoy life in Valheim. Okay, I think I have enough resources now. We should probably start thinking about building things. Usually when I start my worlds, there is not this many boar. And since there are this many boar, I love it. Also, fighting necks this early has been a great thing. Don't be scared to fight things. If you die, the spawn is right over there. It's weird, but death in this game is just eventual, inevitably. I have not died in my multiplayer game, and I don't think I've died in my new single player, but when I made my first world and character, I died a couple times. And you're gonna see why once I start cutting down some bigger trees and things like that. Tools do have a duration, but one of the most amazing things, this is just a rune stone that's going to tell you a story, and it gives you an idea of what's happening, the lore. So, but what we're going to do, you can't build too close to this. So we're gonna try to avoid that, but I would like a more open area. Get all the boar, man. Alright, gotta eat. Already running out of food. Boar are extremely important in the early game. Gotta get them leather scraps. You get deer hides from deer, you get leather scraps from boar. Do I hear any bad guys? No, this is gonna be our spot right here. I like this. Looks pretty good. There's stone. Love it. So we need to build. So what we need is a crafting station. You always need a crafting station first. Right. And you can place them in weird spots, and sometimes you're like, why can't I place it there? That's gonna open up the world. Absolutely open up the world. You cannot interact with anything while you hold the hammer and you have the menu option available. So what you want to do is close that. Now this is gonna yell at you and be like, yo, this needs a roof, son. And so we're gonna have to work on that. So, but now that we have that workstation, you saw this stuff pop up right here. We're going to utilize that. I'm gonna pull this off the ground a bit if I can. Might not be necessary. It's gonna look ugly. It's gonna look ugly. We don't have the wood to waste. So what I'm going to do is find a good spot here to start connecting these. Now, your first building is gonna be ugly, okay? It's just gonna be bad. You're gonna be learning stuff. Middle mouse click for me is to destroy something. You always get your materials back for the most part, unless it's fuel. So if you put like wood in a fire, then destroy the fire, you're not getting that wood back. But whatever it took to build that fire, you will get that back. So we're just gonna do something simple here. We're just gonna put down, go this way one more time. Oh, this tree's in the way. Get out of my way! If you destroy it by hand, I do believe you still get the materials back, but somebody out there is probably smarter than I am. But anyways, put that. If it says block, just try again. Put it on the ground. Don't want that on the ground. Wait, where'd that one go? Can I really not put a, Cool. So we got that. More wood. Restock. So, the biggest, strongest enemy in this game, day 0, is not these little gremlins walking up to you called Greylings. That one's just not the smartest. We'll let him stay out there on the water. It is actually trees. Trees will kill you faster than anything else in this game. Because if a tree lands on you when you chop it down, you're dead. Also, I highly suggest if you find raspberry bushes, don't cut them down. Can't cultivate new ones later on or anything like that. Oh, thank God. But it gets really hard because, you know, this Greyling's a bit tougher. Oh, I forgot. We have these logs on the ground that I can just grab quickly. Not worried about time or anything. There's just because it's going to get dark doesn't mean the end of the world is going to come with it. So, flint is an important thing. We can go ahead and grab or by the water. It's actually a pretty good world looking at it. You know, you can get out onto that island and maybe build something up. That'd be pretty defensible. Anything that hits the water is pretty slow. Things like that, after you play the game for a while, you're like, I'm gonna run this. Workbench is in the ground. We're gonna fix that now. We're gonna put it right there. Yeah? Our house needs walls. We're gonna do that. I'm just gonna make the simplest house while not sacrificing too much in the looks department. But make something a little bit more spacious too than the game usually offers. Out in the world, you can find buildings and things like that. And in fact, you can tear them down. If you put down a workstation, you can tear them down. And, you know, get some wood and stuff out of it. Put this door on. Somehow. There we go. Something that need fixing. So repairs are free. Okay? We are going to try to cover this workstation now. 2, 3, 4. I'm out of wood. My house is a bit complicated. I know there's like smaller, easier houses to build. Things like that. But people out there are better than I am. So, you know, they just get smart. They go gather. They go read the wiki. They do whatever they can to be smart. I enjoy not knowing things. I enjoy the discovery. I like to be surprised, you know? I just get excited about nothing. Losing my mind. All right, let's cut down some trees away from our house so we don't accidentally destroy it. Yes, trees fall on your house, they'll do damage, but it takes a lot to destroy your house. The only thing I've actually seen destroy structures is bad guys. So my axe is broken, but I wonder if I got enough roof on. Fix it. Leave that door open. Yes. So I can repair everything. It's free. It's repaired. It's just a pacing mechanic. So unlike other games where you need materials to keep up on it, we don't do that here. We don't do that. That's a huge waste of time. Whatever dev thought, hey, this is the way we should do things, high five to them. Great job. I hate that crap. I hate when you have to go get wood, fix your thing, or you just end up like, you know what, I'm just going to make a whole nother weapon, right? That's what I did when I first started playing this. I was like, I'm just going to make another axe. I don't know how to repair this. Because that's what other games taught me to do. This one's like, no, get that workstation, get that roof on, and just repair it. Then you can use it as much as you want. Alright. So, trees give 20 wood. 22 wood if you take down the trunk like I did. Birch trees we can do nothing about right now, but later on, when we get into the Bronze Age, we'd be able to chop them down. So there are different ages. As far as I know, I believe we're in the Stone Age right now, so we use stone as our major component and tools. And then the next stage after the first boss is the Bronze Age, and at some point you enter the Iron Age. The game advances like that. I don't think it gets much more complex after that point. I don't know, but this game, I would not be surprised at what it may introduce in the future. Since it's an early access game, they could add all sorts of stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and repair my tool. We're just gonna, I don't know why I put the door there. It's gonna look funky, but funky is fine. Funky and functional, all good. So this real simple house, I can stack these fully focused. And so one thing I can teach you right now is that the colors of things, when you mouse over them like this, show you the structural stability. You can't just build like you can in Minecraft. Stuff can't sit off the ground. So like these roof pieces right here aren't very stable. So you'd have to figure out a way to stabilize them. If it's blue, it means it's on the ground somehow, some way. It's not going, there's no chance it's gonna break. Green means it's off the ground, but it's stable. And then of course, as it gets unstable, it turns into a redder color, eventually being unable to hold itself. Now there is a threshold. If it's too far past that threshold, the thing will break in just a couple seconds. If it's near that threshold, you have time before it does break. Usually you have about 4 or 5 seconds with something before, you know, bad things happen. But we are sheltered. You can see that buff right above me here. So we have done well to get started. But I'm going to add a couple more walls here. And then I'm going to do a bed. I need some more wood. Go ahead and throw down a torch for a little bit of light before I get... So the other thing I'm going to do here, right on this, going to remove that floorboard because we're going to put a campfire there. And in this game, smoke does matter. So you can't just willy-nilly put the fire anywhere. And at night, when I run out of here, I'll show you. So you need a place for the smoke to go. Smoke does dissipate on its own after a while. And if fires have their own smoke over them, you build tree houses by putting floors around them. That's interesting. But if you put a fire too close to something that's above it, the smoke will actually smother it and then you can't use it. So, but you need to keep your fires protected from rain. So, give you an idea. We also now have the rested buff as the major buff in this game. You want to be rested as much as you can because it's 100% stamina regen. And it's a 50% health regen. I love when trees fall. Ugh. Come on, stump. And it'll make your life much easier once you're rested. Trees, as they fall, will damage each other. So be careful. They'll take out bushes. They'll take out anything. They'll take out enemies. They'll kill deer. They'll kill boars. They'll take out your raspberry plants. They'll do it all. Whew. So different than on my other worlds where the characters are built up to do a lot of damage. We're gonna probably change out. Yeah, smoke kills you. The game will let you know that too. Something I discovered a while back, personally. Alright, we should have enough wood here. So the next thing we're going to put down is a bed. Beds act as spawning points. And I believe Hugs tells you. By staying in your home with comfort, that comfort level over there, there's different things to raise it. So having a bed, a fire, a roof over your head, and something else, I'm sure, that's why I have comfort 4. And there might be other things. So there it is. I have a home. It's stable for now. It's nighttime. If I go outside, I get the cold buff. Feel cold. So being near a fire will keep you warm. And you won't lose that 15% stamina regen. And since it's nighttime, I'm going to set my spawn, go to sleep. Tree houses. I never thought about build. That's not true. I've seen other people build tree houses around oaks and stuff. But, I don't know. I'm a traditional man. Alright, so day 2. What I need to work on is collecting resources and things like that. And also, we need to upgrade our food. Which I probably should have done before I went to bed. But, pretty simple thing here. You can place them like this. You need to put these over the fire. And you can put 2 to a fireplace. But be careful, if they're too far one way or the other, you're going to have to fix it. Not expensive. These things are only 4 wood total, 2 per piece. We also see this thing right here. It says we need 10 wood, 10 flint, and the star. That is to upgrade our workbench to get more things. Or to be able to upgrade things and stuff like that. So over here on the workbench, we can upgrade our tools, and we can also make a bunch of other things. I highly suggest getting a bow as soon as you can, so we're not too far away. We need some more leather scrap. That's because deer are pretty hard to take down in the early game. But once you get a bow, get some arrows, use it for a while. Using a bow is the most effective way to take down deer. Later on, if your sneaking stuff is good enough, you can do it. You can also make yourself some pants. You already have the tunic, so get some pants, a little bit of extra armor. It doesn't feel so breezy. So anyhow, as long as this fire is going, we can start cooking some better food here. We don't have to just sit there and eat raspberries. Yeah. Even though we're going to keep eating the raspberries. while that cooks, have enough for a chest. Chest is just tin wood. Thank you, devs, for not making chests horrible. But they're not the best. They only have space for 10 things. So we're going to do that. Now, if you can hear that sizzle sound, that means the meat is ready. So take it off. If you leave the meat on there too long, it'll turn into coal. That is useless for the early game. So don't do that. I'm going to leave all of that. We're going to keep the food. Gonna go ahead and leave the flint behind and the stone and the wood. We're gonna go grab some resources and come back. There we go. So that bar over there is about to get a huge makeover. So my health increased almost 4 times to where it was, and so did my stamina. Now I have a lot more stamina. I'm rested. Life is looking good, but we're still not 100% here, right? We're not ready to take on the world. Getting there. So the next thing we need to do is collect flint. Lots of flint. We've gone from wood and stone to finding flint. Now I'm gonna grab some wood and stone as I'm running around because we're gonna need a lot of it to keep ourselves sustained. But we're just gonna search the shoreline here. I thought I saw one. There it is. We're going to look for flint. We're going to be careful. If we see any necks, we're going to kill them. Necktail is actually really good, even though it doesn't sustain long. All food, you can see the buffs by mousing over them, type of thing. And you can see the duration. Grilled necktail is 1,000 seconds. Meat is 1,200. Raspberries 600. So you'll go through raspberries the fastest. Oh, we got a building. Nice. Don't be afraid to get wet. The rested buff will provide. And don't be afraid to level things like swimming and stuff. But if you run out of stamina while you're swimming, you'll start taking damage. And then eventually, you'll die. It's the worst. I'm going to take a look in this building, but I doubt there's anything good in it. What I can do is come back and tear this down for some free wood. We also need to be looking for raspberries. But we're going to grab that. That. I love the amount of water here. Later on, I would be like, man, why is there so much freaking water? I did not defend that very well. But you can see my health over there is so high, taking 4 damage is no longer a catastrophic event. Gonna take a quick... Be aware of your surroundings, by the way. Especially if you enter a place that's like, bum ba dum, right? And it's like, the Black Forest, and you're like, oh, what's that? That means be extremely aware of your surroundings, because, you know, at any second... a giant creature called a troll will come and smash your face in, and then you'll be like, man, I really need to pay attention to my surroundings. But I've played these games for so long, I'm always like, what was that noise? Huh? Right? So, you know, I waste a lot of time just looking around being like, over there. So I'm gonna teach something here in a second that I can't really show you, but I think is drastically important for people who are starting out. There are dungeons and that kind of stuff in this game as well. It's a vital part of the game, in fact. So I'll just let you know that's in the game. And you can get treasure, you have to fight enemies, you have to open doors, you can destroy the doors. They're not places to really gather specific things, but gather important things. So, yes, there are specific things inside of them, but it's more you need to go there and clear it out just in case it does have that one thing that you need. The dungeons are extremely important for that. Hold on, I'm going to kill this boar. Going to come back. Ah! Blocking is slow to grow. So if you're like, man, I've been blocking everything under the sun, why is it only level 15? Don't know. I don't know if it's a bug or what, but shields also don't break very easily. It takes a lot to break a shield. So, I don't know, maybe that's just the way it is. And I think that's maybe why it levels slow. It's based on the damage that you block. Or the damage to the shield, maybe. I don't know. But you see this ring of stones right here? They're marking something. This is actually a mass grave. And if you get a pickaxe later on in the game, you can lower this. And there's about 3 or 4 spots that will have bone, amber pearls, gold coins. There's a chest in there that can hold silver necklaces. All sorts of good things. That stuff does have a use, just not really in the early game. But you're going to want to get it as you explore the world. Especially the ones closest to your home base or whatever. So that's one grave right there. And you just have to dig down enough until you start seeing the gray stone to usually find this stuff. Sometimes you miss it. That kind of thing, but... yeah, that's a grave thing over there. It's interesting when I discovered that, because I was like, what is this? And I decided to dig in there. There's another one where it's a big stone with other tall stones standing around it, and it's very small and isolated. Break the big stone in the middle. The first one I ever found, I did have to dig one down to see the bones and stuff. But all the other ones, the treasure was either there immediately or not. So, another rune stone here. How much flint do we have? 28? Okay. I think we need to go home. Look at us on the map. This is actually where we flew in. Right here. So on the southern side, if you're like, man, I don't remember running down there. You didn't. This is where you flew in and the bird turned you in. Just the way it did it. Yeah. Pretty cool. Opens up some map, tries to show you some stuff going on. Gotta collect all these raspberries. I want to kill those next, but we don't have time for that. Gotta get back. What's this telling me? Ulf guy. Alright, so we stayed on the shoreline. Let's not do that. Oh, almost got it. Out of stamina. That thing's lucky. But that's an upgraded deer. So far, I've only seen 2-star things. I don't know if there's anything that's a higher quality than that. But a 1-star means it's tougher. 2-star means it's even more tough. You know, enemies, that's bad. Deer means you're going to get more resources out of them. Deer, boar, anything like that. More resources. That's a good thing. Where is our home? Oh yeah, to mark things on the map, choose an icon. That's sort of hiding here. Hold on. You bring my drink up. So, there's icons on the right here. I'm gonna grab home. I see where my spawn point is, so I know where my home is. But double click, and then you'll get the text box. Home. Marked. That's it. And if you want to remove it, it's just right click and it will disappear. There is so much deer. It's ridiculous. Look, I'm just running into them. This world is awesome. If I can find some boar before I fully get home, that would be even better. A lot of dense forest here. The one thing I hope they do change is the mini-map. It does not adjust as you clear things. So it's mapped, and it looks like that's just about it. Once it gets mapped. You know? So you can cut down the entire forest. Yes. Gotta kill everything. Boars usually are in a pack of 3. But sometimes there's only 1 or 2. Sometimes they're in a pack of 8. Is it a pack or are they a herd animal? I feel like a boar would be far too aggressive. Where am I? Got it! Yes! Never mind, you don't need a bow. What am I saying? There we go. A lot of edges towards the tanning rack so I can talk about that. Once I have a bow, man, it is hunting season here. Anyways. It's gonna take a lot of leather. We're gonna go to the workbench, repair stuff. And now, since we have enough flint, I can actually grab a flint axe, which is a bit sharper than our other axe. Start, and so we can cut down trees, we can kill things faster, all that kind of stuff. So we don't have to worry about the stone axe as much. I'll keep it on my bar just cuz. The other thing I can make is a flint knife, which is a pretty good early game weapon in my opinion. It's fast, and it likes to knock things in that vulnerable state, so you can do that nice backstab damage, which is actually 10 times damage. So with the knife, with the sword, if I crit later on, so you can get a sword, I usually do about 60 to 70 damage, sometimes less. With the knife, I can do 140, just to give you an idea of the kind of difference in damage there. However, larger weapons tend to be better in the long run because you'll be better protected with its cleave. Then we can upgrade things if we have our workstation upgraded, which I just realized we don't have any wood, but we have this nice, wonderful new axe. We can come over here and beat on this tree. We're actually doing nearly twice as much damage already. Break the stump. And when you want to clear an area of wood, cut down the trees first before you start breaking them up into logs. The reason that is because they'll do things like this, where they'll damage other trees, they'll damage each other. And then the other thing you can do, if you're willing to get in the way of danger, is actually roll logs into each other. And it's a nice way to take down trees and the logs without wasting stamina and things like that too much, but it's up to you. That. Food's running low. Let's go ahead and top that off. Food effects slowly disappear over time. Eating food does stop you or slow you down at least for a period of time. So be careful where you eat, but at the same time, it's not detrimental unless you're fighting. Where's it gonna fall? Dumb messed up, Grayling. I'm just gonna collect a bunch of wood. You're gonna need a bunch of wood. Get out of there. Things start moving, trees start falling, just run away. They will kill you. Even at 94 health that I'm sitting at right now. That may not end up well for me. Axes do have cleave. Turn the direction, see if you can get nice effects. I think we're already up to wood chopping, like 15, 16, something like that. So, not bad. Also, you're going to see that cutting these down don't take as long as it was before. It was usually taking 2 or 3 hits. Now it's taking 1 or 2. So, great damage. And then later on, of course, you're going to get a better axe, and you're going to do a lot more damage. So, cutting through this stuff even faster. I don't see him, but I hear him over there. What's next? Alright, let's close the door. We have wood now. Let's repair everything. We need to upgrade our workbench. So if we go over here to crafting, we see that we needed 10 flint, 10 wood, and of course the workbench. We can place this down right there, and then boom, look, all this stuff starts popping up. The next thing we're going to need is 5 deer hide, 20 leather scraps, and 15 flint. So it just, again, we needed another upgrade. But since we've done what we've done, we can actually upgrade some stuff here. And right behind me, there's a number here. That is the upgrade of the station. And then there's materials behind me. The stone axe just needs stone, which is easy. Hammer needs wood and stone. But the big thing is these stats right up here above me. You can compare and things like that. So what's the point of upgrading the hammer? Well, you get more durability, right? More durability is a great thing, so you can make more stuff without having to stop. So we just go boop. Look at that. Done. What about the stone axe? Looking at it, we can actually get our slash up to 20, which is where our flint axe is. And it does more damage, things like that. Higher durability, but only by 30. The flint axe has 100 durability as the stone axe and gets 30 durability, but its damage continues to stay higher. So that's the difference between the two. I think, yeah, I don't have enough to make pants or anything, but we have leather stuff open, and I suggest if you're uncomfortable and you have a lot of boar killed, then go ahead and make your pants. But I suggest maybe aiming for, you know, the higher quality armor stuff. Leather helmet, tunic pants, over the other things. But make sure you get your bow done, which is 8 leather scraps. I don't know how much stuff we have in here. 13. Let me just do this. So control click is how I'm putting all this stuff in. Need to cook that up. That wood on me. That's what she said. I'm sorry, had to. I'm gonna cook this stuff up. We're already out of necktail. So, necktail cooks faster than the other meat. So everything has like a cooking... there's ticks in the game, so they have so many ticks before they're done, and everything has their own value. So, other things are immediate. When you make it, other things aren't. So, like cooking stuff will take time. And then later on, smelting metals, those things take their own time. Making the coal and things like that. We're probably not going to get to that today. I'm no speedrunner. We're already an hour in and I don't even have pants. So, but all of this, I love it. Starting over in this game is not bad. It's not a bad experience compared to other games. Like you start over and it's like the worst. You can really feel it. But in this game, like you feel it just a little bit and then, you know, it goes away. Grab that leather. Can't even run away. They're like so many of them, they get caught on themselves. There's the other ones. Sneak up behind something, you get sneak damage, and that's what just happened there. These mushrooms, nice. Mushrooms are hardier than raspberries, I believe. 15 health, 20 stamina. 10 health, 20 stamina. Just a little bit. I feel cold. Alright, let's go home. Listen. That resin. That light off the water, I was like, what is that? Such a pretty game. Close the door. I think we have enough to make the bow, right? Yes. Got ourselves a bow. Need some arrows. 8 wood turns into 20 arrows. We're gonna want more than 40 arrows. Trust me. You gotta want arrows. A stack of arrows is 100, so we're gonna grab that. You can hold on to whatever's here. So, right-clicking things equips them in the inventory. So we're gonna right-click the wood arrows just in case. We can make flint arrows as well. Once we upgrade the workbench a little bit, which they do a lot more pierce and stuff. We're also gonna go to bed. So Lucky, want to say hello to everyone on YouTube? Day 3. It's hunting time. We got a bow. We got arrows. Gotta eat a raspberry. Go step outside. So, bad guy over there. Of course, there's nothing here. We just need to listen. Stuff will spawn. There's deer this way. Now, before I forget, when you first get the bow, shoot a tree. I don't know any hunter that ever goes hunting without practicing a little. But let me tell you something. Bows sitting at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not very good at killing most things. Bows at the beginning have heavy drop. And they also take stamina. So I ran out of stamina there. They take stamina to draw the bow back. The longer you hold it, the finer it gets. But if you notice, even this tree, I'm hitting far below where the marker is. So here's our first deer. I'm going to aim well above it. And I overshot. There we go. And of course, we get sneak damage. Because the deer didn't know where we are. But when they have a red exclamation mark over them like that, they know where we're at. Tap the mouse over them to see it. Might as well practice on the grayling. Alright, I can get him. So next. Missed. Bring it on. Let me take a look around here. So deer get scared off by several things. Oh man, that water slowed it down just enough. Taking pop shots at things, not a bad idea with wooden arrows, but later on when you have like fire arrows or flint arrows, it can get pretty expensive to waste arrows. Something runs off, you're not sure you can hit it, it's better just to right click to stop the draw and just let it go. And then wait for it to come back or go try to find prey that's ready. You know? So we can also sneak. There's our sneak. Gotta improve a lot because I can't see this deer, but I know it's somewhere nearby. There it is. Draw the bow. Aim high. Got it. We got a deer trophy. Trophies can be placed, but not until later. Kind of look. The other thing I want to do, now that you have a bow, and I suggest having a bow before you do what I'm trying to do, I'm going to try to find some bees. What I'm going to try to do. You got to destroy the hive to get the queen. Queen can turn into a beehive, and then the beehives can make honey. Honey is a base resource. You can eat it. It's great for health regen. But the major component is to make other foods out of it, so you're going to need a lot. Bad guy running over there. I don't know why they're running away from me. That's a weird thing I've never seen. I didn't talk about weight, but it's right up there. Excuse me, I'm trying to talk to people. I gotta practice my knives. So if you saw right there, that knife put it in a vulnerable state, and I was able to do even more damage to it. Love it. Having your weapons and stuff out, by the way, will slow you down, and if you want to run faster, put your stuff away. Simple. Mushrooms. There's one mushroom, there's usually a couple more. Not this time, I guess. I thought maybe there'd be some buildings. There's a lot of forest here. Run towards the boss. I have no idea what these are. Nobody spoil. It's something major. But these are nice flat places. I see a lot of people build their houses. But if there's anything special about them, I have no idea. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm looking for these abandoned homes like this. You can build these up and stuff. But what I'm looking for is bees, which there's none in here. And then there's some loot that we can grab. Got some coins. Got some flint. A lot of times there's flint arrows. Arrows of some sort. Treasure. This is a in place. I have not domesticated boars myself, but that's something you can do in the game. Water over here? Oh, it's just open space. Water up there. Here's another grave site. Ah, yes, the other one. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the other gravestone. Right here. So there's this big flat rock. This is what you want to break, and it's surrounded by these tall ones. There is treasure underneath this. So, won't be able to do it immediately, but mark it on your map and have a field day. Now, if I go too far south, we'll have to run the water line. Also, I'll take those. My food's gonna run out anyways. Give me all the raspberries. Alright, we don't got time for that. There's a lot of raspberries here. Look at this. Might be worth marking. Let's get in. Care about this world. That's just it. Mark stuff on your map. Highly suggested. Even if it's just a little thing, click on where your arrow and say, you know, raspberry spot, you know? And if you don't, you want to keep it cleaner than that, have your own little code. Rasp. You know? You know what's there. But if you find, like, resources like copper, a spot where you see boar a lot, because they tend to spawn in the same place. Listen, can we talk about it? I didn't kill your family member. Alright? I slaughtered them. If you ever see me run at a bush, like, or a rock or a bush or something, I usually think it's an enemy or a boar, a deer, something. I also like to sprint in this game a lot. That's not always a good idea because that's stamina. So we haven't really talked about stamina, but stamina is everything in this game. So finding more stamina, increasing foods will make a world of difference. But the other thing, that rested buff that I made seem so important is you want to get that as high as possible because it first of all, every comfort will last longer. Happy Monday to you, Midian. It'll last longer, and that comfort level as it goes up, the longer that rested buff, and you can't pass up 100% stamina regen. There's other foods that will increase that even more and that kind of thing. But having stamina will let you attack more. It'll let you swim further, run run longer, things like that. And of course, there's other things that are in the game that, you know, like powers especially. One of the first powers you get in the game use less stamina to jump and run and that kind of thing. And you can take advantage of that with the rested buff. But if you can get the rested buff, I think in the early game it's 16 minutes of buff. In the mid game it's about 20, and in the late game you can get it to like 22, 24, something like that. So the deer right there, it is 1 star, so we need to get the sneak on it. Got it. Oh-ho. That rock, that tree saved that deer. Sometimes. Oh man, I missed both. Hop shotting like that usually isn't worth it, but with the density of all these deer and stuff, I was willing to take. Look at that. There's 3 of them running out there. 4 of them. This one doesn't even know I exist. Oh man, it saw me just at the end there. You can jump, fire your bow like that. Doesn't help you. You're good enough. Got that one. I don't feel rested anymore. Let's go home. Ended up with 9 hides here. So we have 10 total. We're actually going to pull that out really quick. I'm going to put these trophies here. Why did that... I not stack that earlier. Let's put away some of this. Don't need it. Okay. We ended up with 10 meat. You're going to get a lot of raw meat. Don't worry. You're going to use it. Cook them. Run them into the water. I don't run them into the water because I usually lose the stuff to deep water. But it's not a bad idea. We're going to put down a deer skin rug. Waste some of that. That's because it's going to give us comfort 5 with the skin rug. I think there are different rugs in the game, but they all stack or something like that. So, I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that, okay? Don't hold me to that. But it's a thing. I need to repair my bow. The crude bow breaks rather quickly. And we're going to grab some arrows here. I can't upgrade my bow either. I need those leather scraps, which we need for other things. And yeah, we didn't kill any boar, did we? But that's where we're at. We're just hunting right now. So the game sort of pushes you into these directions. Like, oh, you need this resource. You need to do this next. And it's really nice because it also teaches you the mechanics slower and things like that. And it also doesn't like penalize you for exploring. It doesn't penalize you for trying to be curious about things, because at the beginning especially, getting your stuff back is easier because you usually have skills inside of it. So if you need more wood, you can go cut down trees just as fast, if not faster, than you could when you started the game. And you know, even if you die and lose some of those skills and things like that, it's not a big deal until much later down the line, where dying, they expect you to know the game. So blocking and learning how to parry and that kind of thing, that just comes down to sort of the comfort level of the player. But at the same time, if you're playing with other people, it's even more fun. A lot of things you can do and things together to protect each other and that kind of stuff. Like me talking about the PvP being off and things, won't accidentally kill each other. I'm going to shoot one and then stab the others. Let's go. Ooh. Boars are dangerous early game. Later on, they're like, oh, 0.1 damage. You're like, That is not a deer. That is not a deer. Anyways, we got a building out here. There's a beehive right there. If you get too close, you will get poisoned. Am I hitting it? I'm missing it. There we go. We're gonna break that baby. We're gonna wait, let the bees dissipate. And then you're gonna see some stuff up in the sky jump up. We got a queen bee, we got some honey. No treasure chest in here. Usually isn't in one of those. Where is it? The bad guy's there, but where was the deer? What? The knife doesn't have a lot of block power. I'm back. Just you? Alright, there's a tower over here, and these usually have chests hidden up in the top of them. Like so. Ooh, some feathers for some flint head arrows and some from fire arrows. Now, the other way to get arrows, and there's usually mushrooms down here, by the way. We're gonna go. The best way to get feathers for arrows is to actually hunt birds by either waiting until bad weather pulls them down to the ground. They just sit there sometimes, but is to hunt them with the very arrows you need the feathers for. I mean, get some wood arrows, shoot them at a distance. It's really tough, but once you get it down, it's not too bad. This world is not bad at all. Lots of water, but there's also a lot to explore. Getting pretty late. We should be thinking about going back. So this runestone right here probably tells you about boar, and this is actually one worth marking, because these boars, you notice there's a lot of them here. These respawn. You can come back to the spot and kill 6 to 8 boars every time. Be careful, sometimes there's a boss boar, quality 2 boar, and that thing can do a lot of damage. Early game, like easily 20 damage. The house down here I want to check out. Snuck up on that one. I have the low ground now. Okay, so attacking things elevation-wise, sometimes tricky. But usually, you can get it. Any bees. So you can find these houses. These beds can't be used, but you can tidy them up, put a fire, put a shelter with that fire, and use them as a place to like get rest if you're too far away from home. That kind of thing. I highly suggest once you get everything together. So there's a bird right there. They like to hang out by the water. Oh, it flew away. Yeah, that's how you can get feathers. Shoot the birds. Cutting down trees will sometimes give you feathers too. It's a smart move by the devs. There's a lot of things that they did right in this game. Scroll out so they can see the map size. How big it is. There's a lot. There's a lot. Also, I'll give the warning too that sometimes these bosses have more than one spawn point. So you can find multiple places where you can summon them. Why that is, I don't know. But you don't get anything different as far as I can tell. And then different bosses have different things, so... Go back home. And traveling across the map is faster than you probably think it is. Especially when you have a lot of stamina and powers later on. Also, I should put this bow away. Every time I do, there's like deer. Every time. I feel like the game knows. Oh, you put that bow away? Mistake. Gonna spawn some deer in front of you. All the deer. Crazy. So many. Cook up some stuff. What we got in here? Oh, I accidentally took my shirt off. Gotta move that equipment up there. So I need another chest, it looks like, right? And I can upgrade the bow. Yeah. Do a little more damage. Just 3 more damage? Worth. Upgraded my tunic, not worth it. Pretty sure we can make leather stuff. No. Not yet. We haven't killed enough deer. We haven't destroyed enough of the wildlife. The cold? Rest. What else do I need to talk about? What else is in here? Getting to that point where all the beginner stuff is done. Now it's just sort of the grind section. But again, it just... There's so much to the game. There's just so much. And I've barely scratched the surface in like 40 hours. Plus. I mean, it's got to be more than that. Okay. Got that deer. Got that deer. This is our life. Hunt the deer. But I think that's it. Get a home base. Do the things. Kill the stuff. Make your food. Upgrade your stuff. Now let's talk about what happens when you get out of Stone Age. Can't do that here. I have to do it on a different character. It would take hours to get enough leather stuff, get everything upgraded to where I need it. You can skip things in this game, like what armor and that kind of thing. Even some tools can be skipped in a sense. You don't need the flint axe. What else? I'm trying to think. Yeah. Just things like that. They're little things. We're gonna move away from her. We need to go to AngryZorric here, and then we need to go this world. Now, if you've been watching me on Twitch, you saw what this world was. I have since moved the base. I have gathered a lot of things. I have upgraded my equipment. I have not been in this world for a while since I've been playing multiplayer. There's no reason for me to play single player. No, I will not go into the multiplayer world. Alright, that's personal. Okay? That's a troll, by the way. Oh yeah, I found the dungeon. So, this is my character. I now have troll hide. My inventory, you can tell there's a lot of stuff in the game. We have Queen's Jam. We have carrot soup. We have a bronze sword. I, for some reason, brought this cultivator with me. I don't know what happened there. But that lets us farm. So this is the Bronze Age. I could also have bronze armor. Oh yeah, I was exploring. This is what my map looks like. There's the next boss. All sorts of stuff. I have hide huts. There's the old home. Things like that. I have a power. There's just a lot to this game. There's just a lot. Blueberries. It's an interesting thing. Hey, with carrots, I highly suggest getting as many seeds as possible. So, plant the seeds, get a carrot, take the carrot, turn it into a seed plant. All right, that's how that works. I also don't grow carrots too close to each other, and carrots will eventually die. Okay. Things I've learned about farming. But anyhow, so I just want to run home really quick. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Huh. Huh. I am not really a weak person. I don't have any inventory space. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this food just to show off my stamina potential. I'm not rested because it looks like I've been exploring for a while. We gotta swim. But my stamina bar is twice as big as what we were just doing, so we'll swim here. I get a level. I don't swim a lot. There are fish. You can go fishing in the game. I am going to run all the way to the south here. So the game does turn into a running simulator. If you can't tell, I'm actually running faster than the deer. Before, they were running faster than me. Have room for these? Oh, man. See? See what this game does? Okay, stop. Run. With my power, it takes a lot less stamina to run and jump. And my character's a lot faster because... Oh no, I missed that for it. My character's a lot faster because my sprint level's so high. What? I'm running around this world looking for rat. Look at this. This only happens live, okay? Let me tell you, when I'm playing by myself, I cannot find a freaking raspberry group. And look, there's like 6 bushes right here. 7. Ridiculous. All right, go. I was waiting for my stamina to come back, in all honesty. What you can do is also make like a fire when you come out of like the river or whatever. Oh, why am I here? Talk about this. But when you come out of the river and dry off so you don't lose that 15%. But here is the boss whatever. So this is the first boss. This is a sacrificial thing. I'm not going to summon it or anything like that. But I'm all the way out here. The boss, the original one, is all the way over there to the west. I don't know. I came out here. I tested it. It's the same boss. I've beat up that boss a few times now. Weird. But we're running. And where I was the Black Forest. So all I found so far is the ocean. Black Forest. Mountains. Swamp and plains are the places I know of. What that means? No idea. Turn more south. Our home is directly to the south. I don't want to spoil the sacrificial altar. I have 40 seconds of our buff, though. From that. Oh my goodness, running into all the trees. You bounce off of stuff in this game. It's really weird, but at the same time, like, I've bounced off of rocks and, like, flown up in the air and taken, like, 30 damage. Like, what? But it's so cool. All right. Grab these raspberries. This is my home. Let it load in since I haven't been over here. Don't worry, that's not open, yeah. But I've made this longhouse of sorts. There's actually got to be another longhouse over here to organize things. Just never got to it. I've also made a road. And for those who have been here since Twitch days, I'll go back and show the old camp. But I made this road because I actually built a cart and then carting everything from the old place. This is what you end up doing. So this is my abandoned home. This is the first house I built here and things. Well, got overly zealous with it, but left some things here just in case. Still a place I can sleep and that kind of thing. Took everything else with me. And then I went out here. There was another pocket of forest. Raspberry plants. Not replenished. Can't tell. I've been running a lot. My run is 50. 50. Because I had to run out. I had to run from here all the way to this copper out here. It's about a half day's travel. A third day's travel. Get all the copper and run all the way back home, even in the cold. And it just got ridiculous. So now I've moved this to less than a quarter's day travel to the copper. Now that I'm so fast. But I have all sorts of stuff here. Got some beehives. I'm growing some carrot seeds. Okay. Oh yeah, because I'm dumb. Beehives, that kind of thing. We didn't build the one that I was just in the world of, but you end up getting all this stuff, workstations that are higher upgrade, troll hide, there's that stuff. Still my original torch on my bar, it hasn't burnt out yet. Some carts here that hold some storage, that kind of thing. Then one thing I learned, you can't have a bench and a stool to get the max comfort, which is something new. A buddy of mine and I were talking, and he's like, "Yo, don't have benches and stools." I was like, "Oh, really? That's weird." And he's like, "Yeah." I don't know if that's a bug or whatever it is, but let me get rid of some stuff in my inventory. I have enough to build the chair, but I'm still early game, just to let you know. Still pretty early in the game on this playthrough. I can make a ward which will stop people from destroying my stuff in a multiplayer game. There's portals, things like that. There are boats, you can go boating. I haven't really talked about that. I'm gonna build a chair really quick. Put it right there. Comfort should go up to 9. Let's see. Table, chair, banner. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something, but that's not possible, right? Should have 9. It's definitely missing something. Chair. Deerskin rug. Fire. Don't know what I'm missing. Trying to think of it. I think a workshop matters, does it? Could be wrong. There's comfort 9. Yeah. So, that's the max we can get in the early game. Day 70. It is storming. Any building that should have shelter that isn't in shelter will take damage to the halfway point in rain. So, if you look here, you see all this stuff is damaged out here. This will not continue to take damage. But structures will be damaged without a roof on. But here's the roof that I have. It's still horribly built. Arcs don't work in this game as effectively as they should. No, I'm not salty about it. But, yeah. Putting comfort when you like have to come into workstations and stuff, still only says 8. There's 9. But maybe the banner isn't close enough over here. I like to put a deer skin rug where get the full effect on things. But yeah, where I planted my pine trees, right out there. Traveling in the harsh weather, monsters can attack you that usually aren't there, like skeletons and things. But overall, the combat in this game is pretty fun. I've enjoyed the combat. This is about, you can get to this point in this game in 10 hours or less if you're vigilant and you know what you're doing. If you're a new player, it may take you about 15 hours to get to this point, maybe more, depends. You know, building a base up like this and that kind of stuff just takes time. And getting enough copper and that kind of thing, it just... Man, my jump is so good. It just takes time, and you have to just do the work. Now, building a cart and building a road to where the resources are, also a very smart move. Things like that. You just learn to do it. You know what? Standby fire gets rid of that. I'm trying to think of what else. But the thing is, like, it doesn't feel like work, right? A lot of games nowadays, they feel like work. You feel like you're doing a lot of grind. But the grind in this game isn't horrible. I mean, getting copper is pretty bad. But there are things to, like, mitigate it, make it better, improve it in one way or another. Cooking food would seem like a chore, but you can have as many as many campfires as you want. So you can build a bunch. Can't do it when it's storming, but you can build a bunch outside, put a bunch of the cook stations on top of them, and cook stacks of meat at the same time. Yeah. You can also sit in chairs, on benches. What else? I'm trying to think. The devs have done a very great job of this game. Like, Minecraft and stuff is great. Don't get me wrong. But just the amount of things you can do in this game and the combat, you know, it was a lot of fun. We have an improved bow here. See how straight it shoots compared to where it was. My bow level's higher. That is not a boar. That is a rock. Just things like that. I'm not gonna go fight a troll or anything, but there's so much I haven't discovered. So once you go sailing, which I've done a little bit of over here, but I think I have to go sailing up to get to wherever this is. You start seeing more stuff, more resources, different things you can get. You start making different foods, and it just keeps building on top of whatever's there. That's what's so great about this game. It's not like something you just do stuff and then like, oh man, there's nothing left to do. Did that boar just attack my wall? Look, I know. That boar attacked my wall. Damaged both of those walls. Ridiculous. But there's like so much you can do with this game. Building bridges, building towers, building tree houses. Thomas, what's going on? Building forts. You know, that's there. Lots of combat stuff. Lots of things to learn how to fight. Lots of things like potions to drink and that kind of thing. Get your cauldron going. What else? I have room to pick up this stuff. We're killing these guys anyways. I haven't domesticated boars. Haven't tried that out. Mushrooms are hard to come by in this game. But there's so much. There's like upgrading your armor, different types of armor. Like this troll armor right here, it gives me sneaky, right? 20 plus 25% to sneak. which I'm not very good at in this game. But it's also relatively much better than the leather and the other stuff. So there's tiers to this and how it works. Right now I'm sitting at 26 defense. And defense in this game really matters. Watching your fort get destroyed by a troll from some distance. There's also events where things just come and attack and swarm you, which I've only ever experienced on the multiplayer server. These gates take damage from rain? That's a little weird. I hope they fix stuff like that. These should take damage from rain. That doesn't make sense. Because aren't they... I guess supports take damage from rain. I don't know. This is all 50 stone. Every single one of these piles. Some of them are stacked. You can stack them into almost one pile. You need workbenches to do things and that kind of stuff. You need, like... I guess on these, you would want to put, like, a support on top of them with a roof. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But I think people can get really creative. I know they do. I've seen pictures on Reddit. I've seen, you know, the gifs of people doing crazy crap and that kind of thing. Guy launching himself by cutting down a tree, having another tree hit it, and it launched him up into the air. There's a guy who put a boat on the ground, and he built this, like, slide out into the ocean to give him, like, speed. They do stuff like that. An earth wall fort right next to it because a bunch of trolls and gray dwarves attacked your fort. Yeah. The game is so dynamic and just the sense of everything. The one thing I will say, so the enemies are pretty varied. As you start finding them, you start going, oh, well, this is getting nuts. They're varied, but like the animals aren't so much. There's fish, there's deer, there's boar, there's birds. From what I found, there's other things. I haven't seen a lot of that, so you don't. You know, you're not going to go out there and find ostriches and stuff. But there's no horses in the game as far as I know, which would make sense. The devs ever added that, I'd be like, well, yeah, duh, right? What else? Why is the Comfort 9 not kicking off? What's going on here? I have to, like, stand on the bed. What? The bed might need to be moved. Anyways. I don't know. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think of, anything the player needs to know. But in all honesty, for $20, game is 20 bucks. All right, there's nothing cheaper besides watching streamers. Okay? But for 20 bucks and the amount of hours I've already put into it and the amount of hours I know I'm going to put into it, like, it's crazy to think that I'm picking up I've been picking up like $50, $60 games in my life and having less fun than you know, picking up a $20 game in early access. And I've strayed away from early access, but there's been a lot of great things in early access. Hades was in early access as well. I just didn't play it until it came out, and people are like, dude, you gotta play it. But, you know, mythology, Norse, Greek gods, I don't know. All those games have been doing pretty well for me. Trying to think. Yeah, Iron Gate has a great game here. I'm excited to see what they add to it, that kind of thing. I'm excited to see where they're gonna take this. I'm excited to see what people are gonna do with the game. You know, taking a boat and sliding it down a mountain is one thing, but like, are we gonna be able to build even bigger ones or whatever? Are we going to, you know, I guess start introducing other things like magic? So there are stats in there for like frost and fire and that kind of thing. That I've noticed, but there's like, I haven't found anything myself that deals that kind of damage. But if they start adding magical type attacks and things like that to the game, that could be interesting. Making unique traits based on like what's leveled up as your skills and stuff. I can see this getting a little more complex, but hopefully it stays as simplistic. Their last update was on March 2nd. So right here in the changelog, they tell you everything that they've done. And they continue to update it. So we're 6 days out from the last update, but yeah, the game again very optimized, and I highly suggest playing with some friends. But for $20, another great game, and I just thought I would share it here on a more permanent basis in the sense of a YouTube video, because Twitch videos can be fleeting, but yeah, we've been going for an hour and 46 minutes, and I don't think there's anything else more to say. I've talked myself out. Look at all this. Look at all this story. I've heard some interesting things. Green screen, come on. Not that white. That's my issue. I think I'm too white for the green screen. I've heard some interesting things going on in this game and what people are doing, and you know, that's in the later game, but I'm glad I haven't been spoiled completely. There's still surprises and stuff like that. So you're welcome, Midian. My mods always checking out the chat. Thank you, Thomas and Chaz, for being here. I appreciate it. We didn't cuss today, so I won't have to edit the video like I had to do last Mondays. We will be back on Thursday here, talking about the Guild Wars 2 patch that is happening tomorrow. Tomorrow's Guild Wars 2 patch will be new DRMs. So we'll play through some of that on Thursday. I don't know how long the show will be, but we'll play through the DRMs, talk about the patch, talk about the story in a sense. Try not to spoil anything, but just talk about what's there. I'm sort of just waiting for the expansion at this point myself. Valheim has taken a lot of time away from me, so that is what's going on. Tomorrow on Twitch, though, I will be live there with the patch. So I'll be in there doing all the stuff. So if you want to check me out over on Twitch, down there. Also, if you guys can hit the like button, I'd appreciate that. Also, subscribe if you're watching this. More stuff to come. I'm ready to record gameplay. Exciting? I think. There's still some audio stuff I have to figure out, I think. But for the most part, I think I got it all set up. So we're going to start getting vids out soon, I hope. And, yeah. Down below, Discord, Twitter, Twitch. There it is. Think anything? That's it. I appreciate everybody who comes to these live shows or watches for longer than 5 minutes. Appreciate you. Really do. And I hope you guys can find some games this year. 2021 year of gaming. I've been doing a lot of gaming this year. I put in hundreds of hours already. Hundreds. Gotten a lot of achievements on Steam, things I've wanted to do. At the same time, I feel like I'm still not doing enough. Daylight savings time is this weekend as well, so gonna have some insomnia issues. It happens every time. I have no idea why daylight savings time is still a thing. Everybody's like, well, rate the thing. World War II's over. All right, don't, just don't. Oh, it's so dumb. It's dumb. We have clocks, okay? The people who need the clocks, they can use the clocks, okay? Okay? I'm done. Music in this game's awesome as well. Just want to point that out. Iron Gate, thank you so much for making an awesome game. I will be back on Thursday. As always, I'd leave you with this. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. For all we got. great night, day, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is. Make it great. Go to bed, sleep well, get that rest. You'll need it, trust me. If I don't see you for the rest of the week, enjoy the rest of the week. If I don't see you for the rest of March, enjoy the rest of your March. And if I don't see you for the rest of 2021, because you get busy with life and enjoying things and just gaming, and you don't have time to just be like, yeah, YouTube Live, what is that? I'm too busy over here playing Valheim, nerds. I get it, 100%. Take care of yourself, though. You know, get up, stretch, things you got to do. You know, that kind of stuff. Also, be safe out there. Get vaccinated. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Stay away from people. Everybody's gross. Whatever you need to do. See ya. Bye.